Hello, hello. Can everybody hear us now?
Is that a thumbs up?
All right.
Well, you missed out on all my really great
Take two.
art, humor, jokes.
Take two. Can you do it again?
Well, I don't even remember what it was. It was situational. No, I can't
Well,
replicate
you
that.
still got to talk about the cards, even though you showed them, because they didn't hear any of it.
Y'all want me to go through that again? You know, give me a thumbs up over there. Otherwise, I'm not doing that. I do want to talk about this because you saw how slippery the cards were and everything.
Well, they saw that, but they didn't, they're not going to know that that's what you were saying. So, see, you got to go through the cards again. Plus, they're really pretty and people like them, so. I'm trying to butter her up. She's getting kind of grumpy on me.
Okay, Miss. My cards slipped off on the pile over there. Can you fetch those for me, please?
Because they're very slick.
What? Look at those little boogers. Well, last night I was kind of messing around here, and I was missing one because I knew I had 12 cards, right? I went through my piles. I went through everything, and it had slipped down in between my chair and the desk here, and was in danger of being run over by the wheels of my chair. So I don't remember exactly which one it is, but you know, it's just, you always have a favorite.
And Becky's here with us. Hello, Becky.
Hi, Becky. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. The sound wasn't on for 10 minutes.
Oh, it was more like 9.5.
Thank you, Felicia, for giving us
Yes,
a
Felicia.
heads up. I mean, you know, what a bummer. Do your whole thing and nobody says, hey, the sound was off. Sometimes it might be, okay.
All right, and back them up just a little smidge towards you, and then you'll have the whole set. There we go. Perfect.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see that?
They're very slippery.
They're very slippery. But, I mean, you either have slippery or you have them all glued together, because that's what happens when you use Mod Podge, right? Okay, so I went ahead and did them, and what I did differently is I put it on, you know, pretty greasy, both sides, and then I just kind of flipped them over in there and let them set a bit.
Under a lamp. It was an LED.
God, she's...
I'm sorry. I couldn't. I did.
I said, I don't know what happened differently, but nothing is sticking together today. But then, I usually just use a paper towel and wipe it off, but I just happen to have this old piece of, I don't know, sheet that was probably a pillowcase. I don't know what it was, but anyway, soft cotton fabric. And then I just, you know, kind of buffed it off, and I mean, you know, you could use this stuff on skis. Anyway. Okay, so.
Not that we recommend doing that. We don't really understand.
You know what, I don't know what I did with those cards, because I was, you know how you put things away and you say, well, I'll put it here because for sure I'll remember where that is. Well, that wasn't necessarily so. Okay, now, back to the cards. They have two sides, and I did flip them earlier. Look, I think that I really, there are some that I think this one is my favorite. And I hope to get to that today. I don't know that that's going to be possible, but I'm going to talk about it real quickly anyway. Is this showing up really good?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see the dark edge there? I did that with that stays on.
Did you use that with your stencil?
No, I used this with one of Mariah's teeny tiny brushes that has 4.5 hairs, and put in that little dark shadow there and the shadow around this. But this stuff is the bomb. And of course I distress my edges because I always do that. And I know that you're not supposed to, like, I don't know, do this kind of stuff with this. It's my go-to. I hate this stuff because it keeps coming off on my hands after, you know, whatever. So I love this stuff.
It stays on.
No kidding. Now the downside is it might stays on someplace where you didn't.
Well, and you need to, so back it up a second. The reason that, like, the distress ink, if you have paper that has not been treated with anything, it works just fine and doesn't rub off.
Oh.
You had treated your cards therefore you had to move to something a bit harsher, more stays on-y.
I don't know if that's true.
I think that's true.
Yeah. Okay.
Let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
Tell. Is it Team P or Team M? Who's the winner?
We'll put a little tally thing there. Okay, the
It's
boat.
always a competition.
Until the boats are in. I will just, I'm staying with my stays on. And I did a little shadow here because I like this positive, negative thing. You know, this looks like a hole. This looks like something added.
Did you just, like, accentuate what was already there with the stays on?
Yeah.
Or did you create new pattern?
No, I wanted to make this look more three-dimensional here because I love that.
You might hold that up a little further to the camera. There.
Is that good?
Maybe a little further up. A little further up. Arms up. Arms up. She's not appreciating my stuff.
Okay, here's Mariah. Okay, I'm going to give you Mariah. Here, do you see this? Do you see this?
I don't appreciate the voice.
I'm going, my God, could you hold that thing still? I'd like to read that quote. Yeah, well, unless you can fast freezer or whatever it is.
I think neither one of us have had enough coffee this morning. We're a little snippy.
Speaking of which, I'm going to have a little slug of coffee here. Maybe my humor will improve. Okay, now, Mariah, you're in charge of the
yes.
very detailed list that I gave you last night. Could you please check that and see if we need to say anything else here?
Gel plate printing with playing cards.
Well, there we go. Okay, we're getting these out of here now. Everybody, if you want to...
Well, you may kind of go. So the reason that we were showing those is that is our goal for today. We had already said this, but the mic was off.
Oh, yeah, whoops.
So the reason we're showing those as examples is that's what we're hoping to cover all in all, which is, I don't know if anybody read the description of the video today, but I did put the outline there. We're trying to be a bit more organized.
Oh, bless your heart, Mariah. You are... She's the list maker.
I am. I love a list. So number one, we're going to try to cover the gel plate printing with playing cards. Most likely, we will get to that. Number two, the stencils on the plate. I think we will get to that as well.
Oh, yeah, definitely that.
Stencils after printing.
What?
Stencils after printing.
Oh,
hey, I'm reading your notes.
Okay.
Please chime in and let them know.
Yeah, sure.
Layering, visual versus actual. Or actually, so you say visual and actual.
Yeah.
I didn't say versus. It is a competition, maybe.
I don't even know what you're talking about. You can't do this machine gun stuff to me before I've had my full cup of coffee. I meant to get up a little earlier so I could tank up, but that didn't happen. I just kept, you know how you think about things right before you are going to sleep. Anyway, that's what I usually do, and I usually have a little notepad by my bed that I write things down so I don't have to get up and come in here. Anyway, I just kept thinking of things, and I got up twice to make little notes.
Where are your additional notes?
Well, I wrote some of them down up here.
Here, show the people, show everyone.
Well,
do it like I do, so they can't actually read it. They can just see that you made notes.
See, I made notes here. Because this is one of the things when I grab that card real quick. No, that's not it. Mariah, could you find that card that I was talking about?
Your favorite card?
My favorite card.
The dimensional one?
It's and we've talked about the stencils in the other video or the other live thing that we did the other day, right? Well, this edge here was created by stencils that were made from cutouts on Cricut. And
the leftover bits.
The leftover bits. And I will go into that more. Like you can see it on this print. See that edge there? That's from a Cricut cutout. I'll put that over there because that's one of those papers that we're going to talk about. And it's just really become my favorite go-to. As it just, it looks organic sometimes, and then I have some that are more geometric.
And then it almost looks like writing.
Yeah, asemic writing. I don't know if I have those. They're somewhere. I don't know. They're on my Facebook page because I posted them. So if you want to,
If you're friends with P.
I think that they're like on my regular page. Anyway, okay, so.
She thinks people just find her.
Yeah.
Find me.
Find me. Okay, so we'll start off with this one. This is, I was making my color wheel, and Izzy, the 3-year-old toddler who thankfully is at the park, who wouldn't be doing this otherwise, said, Gigi, I need one of those. So I made this one for her, and
she colored it in.
She colored it in. Now, it's not necessarily spot on, but I think for a 3-year-old, the color job is just pretty wonderful. Okay, enough about that. I hate people that talk about their kids all the time. It drives me crazy. Okay.
Supposedly, according to people in the Facebook group, they are also very angered by the yammering.
The who?
The people in the Facebook groups, when they talk about what kind of videos people like, it's like, when you're doing a live, it's very hard not to, like, be conversational.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, move on to something else that you do like. That's what I do. I mean, I don't sit there and torture myself watching people yammering. I just move on.
I'm kind of voyeuristic. It depends on what you're talking about. I mean, if it's some good dish, I'm all in.
Mariah listens to conversations in restaurants of the people in the next booth, and it's so irritating because I'm talking to her and I know she's not listening to me. She's listening to the drama occurring in the booth next to us. Okay, she also her idea of a really good time going to the antique/junk stores where they're selling other people's stuff / she reads people's postcards.
Oh, I love it.
Now, is that not sad?
It is not.
I mean, there's all of this wonderful stuff that you can be checking out, and she's sitting on the floor reading people's postcards. Oh, well.
Hey, Jeanette's with us.
Hi, Jeanette. Okay, so we're going to do, this is what I call Color Wheel 101. And I don't want to insult you, and I don't mean for this to be insulting, because I think children are exceptionally a lot brighter than we give them credit for. But I taught this to first graders. I had first graders who could mix fabulous neutrals. And the thing about it is this is a quick color wheel. You don't have to go buy an expensive one with all those dials and whistles and bells. And mostly those are just confusing because you're like, oh my God.
It's too much. It's TMI.
Too much, but just keep it simple. And this is simple. Okay. It doesn't matter where you are, you can draw a color wheel fast and efficiently. And I always put the flat line on the bottom because that tells me it's primary colors. Yellow at the top, red to the left, blue to the right. And everybody knows that yellow and blue make green. So you just place this over the top and you have your secondary colors. Okay? Now I always try to put yellow at the top just because if you're consistent, and if you're one of the...
You'll remember it more so.
You will.
You just kind of have a go-to.
But just make one of these quick little hummers and, I have it right here. Because sometimes when I'm looking at that and I'm in the heat of a...
If it didn't take me 20 minutes to set up the camera, I would, pan over to show that, but...
Yeah, we spent like 30 minutes trying to get this in the right place here.
You should see the contraption that was constructed
from a stick, and it came all the way from Alaska. I recovered it at Lake.
Oh well, yeah, that and then the new contraption.
Oh yes, it is. That's holding our camera in place. We're not going to go on that. That's really is totally yammering on. All right, so there is reason for this here because today we are going to be using the yellow and violet
end of things
combo
and orange
and maybe The orange that I will be using is this stuff. This is how I get the orange. It's an oxide. And I bought these small bottles because I didn't know if I was going to love it, and I absolutely love it. And then I bought the big bottle of this stuff, and I
don't love it as much.
Don't love it as much.
Well, she thought she was going to love it because it was brown.
Sometimes Mariah's a little snarky. Okay, so here we are. And we all know red and green. You know, I don't use that so much because, I don't know. I use lime and pink. I like lime and pink. But red and green together, I mean, you know, come on. You just want to sing fa la 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 la. Blue and orange, not so much because it's that football team in Denver. You know, I don't want everybody getting off.
Thinking you're a Denver Bronco fan.
Yeah, we can't have that. Okay, so.
We were both born in Colorado.
Yes. Mariah was actually born in Denver.
I was.
Yeah. Okay, so
some
here.
of that personal information is just thrown in there in case you wanted to know.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, when you are mixing, and I write this down and I say this, and I guarantee you I won't even do it. I'll probably just slap something from somewhere else. But sometimes if you have the lightest color and you mix in small amounts of the darker color, you use less paint. And I was just, I haven't bought paint for a long time because I just. Well, I haven't, but I noticed this one tube of paint was like $19. I'm going, holy cow, did I really buy that? I guess I did. Well, this one's $14.49.
Well, yeah, and what's funny is, like, you can see the tag on there that says MJ Designs, and that was,
Who is that?
I don't know if that was Michael's before, or they bought them out. Like, there was a whole, remember rebranding?
Oh, yeah. Well,
so that should tell you, like...
Yeah, and some of this is paint is Mariah, some of it's mine, and some belongs to my husband.
We merged households.
Yeah, well, we just decided the acrylics didn't have to live in separate vicinities. Okay, all right, we can get back to that later if needs to be. Right now, I'll just stuff that over here with the rest of the stuff and whatnot. Okay, so here we are.
All right, I need a little review. Like, what were you accomplishing with that whole...
Oh, that whole little... color thing?
Yes.
Well, what we're doing is we're getting ready to set up our colors so we can do some actual gel plate printing.
Okay.
And those are the colors that we're going to mix. And I just want to do a quick overview. I'm not going to belabor the fact. Everybody knows that there are a whole bunch of different colors of red, blue,
I don't think
and yellow. Right?
I think you should stop saying that everybody knows this stuff, and we're just going to assume that nobody knows anything. And you get to talk about it.
Okay, now this is really where, come on people, now chime in over here and let me know. Because I hate.
Jeanette says hers is the cheapest crap I can get at the local store. Very good.
Hey, sometimes that is exactly, and I believe in that. And this is why I buy this stuff. Because you can spend a whole ton of money on this stuff right here.
Except for her shiny paint that comes from the Ukraine. I guess it's some...
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is some shiny paint here. Now, Jeanette, you may want to spend the big bucks for this. I do love it. I love the consistency, the viscosity.
I think we even talked about that a little bit in the last gel print thing about how, all right, there's one thing you can go cheap with, but if you're talking metallics, shiny stuff, usually the higher end brands are going to produce better results.
Yeah.
Certainly more consistent.
Now, that being said, I've used tempera paint from Izzy's.
We love those Sargent's ones. And they're not expensive.
Oh my gosh, they're like...
Those things are fantastic.
I don't even think those are qualified as student grade. I think those are qualified. Yeah.
But they're fantastic.
Really, and you mix them with some Mod Podge, I mean, you got some stuff there. Okay, this Arteza. And this particular color is...
I think that stuff is awesome.
Pearl Copper Gold. I mean, you just killed it there. You got them all, right? That isn't necessarily so. I don't know. I think it's okay. I'm not blown away by that, but I do like it, and I did use it when I did the cards. And I should, And I did use some gold. I like that this has a little bit of that coppery, reddy thing to it. Kind of works nicely with the violet, the purples, and the yellows.
It's a good gateway. Metallic.
Oh, that's so funny. Anyway, well, we were looking for our matte acrylic medium.
Did you find it?
No, it's disappeared. Gosh, you know, I may have used it all.
I thought you did, and then we were looking for more, and we couldn't find that.
And that's
They don't have that brand anymore in that particular one, or at least the last time we looked on Amazon.
Yeah, because this U.S. Art Supply, it's not your high-end stuff, but you know what? When you're using this stuff, I don't know that it needs to be. Now, when do I use the gloss? I use the gloss if I want to make it my paint lighter without losing the, you know, how you mix water and it becomes lighter. Well, you mix this, it becomes lighter, but you don't lose your viscosity. Now, this stuff, the acrylic paint retarder, it just keeps your paint wet longer. They have what's called golden opens, and that's what they do. They act more like an oil paint. Okay.
But they're very expensive.
But they're high dollar. Pricey. They're real proud of their product. And as they should be, because it is. It's lovely. It's creamy. It's whatever. But you know, for what we're doing here,
And
I don't really.
When you're learning, and you know,
Yeah. And you don't
save
want.
that for the good stuff. It's like saving the good china.
Seriously. Now, and this stuff is high dollar too, but a little goes a long ways, and I recommend buying this because, I mean, I don't know who else makes it, or I probably would buy somebody else's, but you can tell, look at this. Now, it does get a snotty nose, and I hate that part of it, but...
We've noticed in watching other people's videos that seems to just be the way that it is.
It is, and I watch Robin, I can't think of her last name, sorry, Robin. But, I mean, hers look worse than mine. That's possible. Okay, well, this retarder is something that you definitely need to invest in if you're going to be doing. And the reason I say that is because if you're positioning stencils on, say, a large gel plate, which I'm going to be using my smaller gel plate today, my 5x7 that I just got, you want your ink to stay wet longer because acrylics dry quickly. And we have the fan off in here today simply because I'm seeing if that's going to make a difference. It's also cooler. I do still have the window cracked over here, but temperature, humidity,
It all plays a part.
all plays a part. Okay, now.
Is the snotty paint better than the constipated glue? Can you guess who asked
Jeanette. Interjecting a bit of humor here. Okay.
I like it.
Now, which one did she want to know about?
The snot is the snotty paint. Oh, is the snotty painter better than the constipated glue?
Well, it just depends on what you're doing.
The question might have been rhetorical.
Yeah. Okay. It just depends on what you want to happen on that gel plate. And
yeah, because I think
it's called viscosity. I should have been using that instead of snot.
See, that's what you get when you start using your slang.
Okay, yeah. They call it viscosity, but there's another, what is it? I'm trying to look here.
We need our chart.
No, they call it, there's another name for it. High viscosity, but what is the...
heavy body.
Heavy body, thank you. You know?
I
Heavy body. I think that they gave up on high viscosity because nobody knew what that meant, so they went with heavy body. And we all know what that means. Okay. I was trying to find it here. They always put the... Okay, here we go. Heavy body. Can you see that?
Move it a little more over to the light, Carolina. This light.
Oh, this one. How's that?
There you go. That's pretty good. We're going to call that good.
We're going to call that good? Okay, well, you definitely will not be able to read this one right here, but...
Dear Lord, what is that? Yeah.
High viscosity. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like nobody reads it anyway. We can make it small.
Yeah, okay.
And then they had to put it in like 20 languages.
Yeah, no kidding. No,
So.
just 3. All right, so reds. There are all kinds of reds. And Jeanette, you know, this is really, really important because you have something that is towards the yellow end, which is your...
Tomato.
I'm trying to squeeze that out so that you can see
See, I can call that tomato.
cadmium. Yes. And the thing is do you want tomatoes or strawberries? If you want strawberries, you're leaning towards the cool end. This is the warm end.
So Becky,
tomatoes, strawberries.
Becky was listening and she says, "It's Snotty the brand name." No, we're talking about. See, this is where P like it's gonna get people confused about things.
Oh, it's wonderful. I love it.
The that brand, the looser paint, right?
Yeah, loosey goosey
stuff is golden. Becky, it's golden paint that has the nicer, it's pricey, it's higher end stuff.
Well, now this is no. This is high viscosity. This is.
But the stuff that you like, that comes in the loosey goosey, is the golden.
Can you hear that? Okay, can you hear that? You don't hear anything,
it comes
right?
in a tube versus a bottle.
Yeah, tube versus bottle. Okay, it's going to be thick, very mucusy. And this was going to be.
Oh, this is just going.
This is going to be like when you have allergies in the morning, and it's just like
Carrie's with us.
running like a faucet. Okay, moving right along. All right, we got tomatoes and strawberries taken care of. All right, we can move these aside. Mariah, what did we do with my nice little tray that I had you fetch from the?
Yeah, with the pound of dust on it.
Now don't be snarky. All right, let's move on to the blues here because you got some choices here too. And I don't know. I just bought. This is what I had in the Prussian blue, and I really like Prussian blue. So everybody was all talking about this Amsterdam stuff, and I don't know that I love it. It's just. Prussian blue is just a wonderful blue because it's a very dark blue. We're going to squirt a little of that out here in a minute. And I don't have any low viscosity Prussian blue. So we're just going to have to go with the heavy duty. All right, now, cerulean. This is a good one. It's more like what Mariah talks about when she talks about her colors on the computer.
Oh, being saturated. The saturation.
No, but what are the colors that you use on the computer?
Oh, CMYK, so cyan.
Yeah, okay. This is more whatever. Yeah, that is.
Don't call it cayenne. It is not pepper.
No, and it's blue. Cayenne's red. Okay, so we have cerulean blue, and you can get it in light, you can get it in whatever, but anyway, that's that blue that you have. The cobalt blue, and see that little thing there? I'm sure that means something, but I'm not sure exactly what. Because
that was like from ages ago, so they probably don't even do that on their packaging any longer.
Yeah,
see, there's a newer one, right?
This is Blaine. This is from Alaska. This is some Vance. He painted a lot of whales. Yeah. So we need
a lot of blue.
Need a lot of blue. We have a lot of blue.
Whales.
Have a lot of blue.
I've never seen a painting of his with a whale.
Well, that's because it's in the storage unit.
Oh. Hopefully Van doesn't watch this back.
I don't think we have to worry about that. I don't think he will. Yeah, okay. So, painting water, you need all these different colors of blue. Some of them lean towards, and when you're mixing the purples, that's one of the things I want to get to. It does matter which blue and which red you're using, because you have to remember the complement. What did I do with my color here? The complement of yellow is violet. So when you're making your violet, you need to go towards, you want to have strawberry red here rather than cadmium or tomato, because the tomato is going to have some, it's going to lean towards the warm end of things. We want towards the cool to get a nice violet. Okay, put those back there. And the Prussians, put those back there. Okay, is everybody still with me on this? And I haven't totally bored you to death. Okay, yellows. You might think that there's just like yellow's yellow. Well, yellow is not yellow. You have choices here. So, again, you've got the cadmium yellow, but you've got cadmium yellow light. Or this is medium and this is light. And there is a big difference in those. On my printing that I did the other day with the little cards, I used Naples, and that's what we'll be using today. But, you know, when I was kind of searching around in the thing there, I found this, and it says yellow oxide. And I'm kind of excited about that because this is an oxide. I'm hoping that it's more transparent than, you know, because that's the other thing that's really important. If you want something to show on top of something else, you need to make sure that it's transparent. And Golden does do this, and this is a really nice little thing that they do. Okay, see that little bar at the top there? You can just barely see the black lines underneath that. So this particular purple is really pretty much opaque. Now, your iridescent gold here, on the other hand,
I love that
is, I would say, fairly transparent. But the reason I love this stuff is, can you see? Can you see? I need to stop getting that all gooed up.
Depending on how many layers you have.
Yeah, depending on how many layers. Okay, now this is another wonderful one. This green gold, oh man, it is.
You mentioned the other day that you were a little sad about buying the little bottle in that. You should have gotten a little bottle of the umber and a big bottle of the green.
No kidding. Bad decision there. And as I said earlier, the orange that we will be using is this
Rusty.
nickel azo gold, and it's quinacridone. That's a really hard word for me to say.
What does that even mean?
I have no idea. I guess I should have looked at it.
That.
Maybe somebody can do that.
Yeah.
Somebody
Let us know in the chat. What does that mean?
What does it mean? I don't know what it means.
Enlighten us.
It's probably something that I should know, and it's going to make me look really ignorant. But anyway.
Hey, you know what? I think it's better that we admit that we don't know something.
Yeah, and just play like I do. Yeah.
I'm also a fan of fake it until you make it.
But sometimes it becomes quite obvious later on that there was not a lot of. Okay, so
there's more faking than making.
I think that we pretty much covered everything that I want to talk about in the color scene. Let's just jump right in.
Oh my God, are we actually going to paint something?
We're actually going to paint something as soon as I mix my colors. Okay, I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that and
here,
be looking for that.
Put it on the tray?
No, because I'm going to squirt it out here in just a minute.
Okay.
All right, I have my very exquisite,
What were you asking me for more of those this morning?
No, I have some that, you know, like.
Oh,
proper.
Oh, it's up on the shelf. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Proper mixing things, but they're
it's
like.
on a higher shelf than you were.
You
were allowed to get
in
to.
heaven. If they were in hell, I'd have been able to reach them, but they're up in heaven. That's what we refer to on our shelf back here. And I'm not big on.
Wait, here we have a question.
Question.
Is it typical for the golden paint to be about $12 per 1 fluid ounce?
No, I think that's kind of high. I can usually.
Well, remember, Jeanette's in Germany.
Oh, are you?
I don't know. Where do they make golden paints? What does it say on the back? Here, let me have one of those.
Well, here, you know.
Yeah, because it's tiny, and I'm even struggling today.
Here.
Yeah, this is made in New York. Oh, I don't need your magnifying glass. She's handing me a magnifying glass. I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, well, she lives long enough, she will be. And I don't know, if she doesn't straighten up fly right, she might not. Okay, here we go. Now, all right, so I have these little, I have some.
Hey, do you remember what you paid for some of these? Well, this is a 2 fluid ounce.
2 fluid ounces. I think it was, and of course it depends on the color because the pigments are priced differently. I don't really remember what I did, but if you check back, I will put it down in comments or something.
We'll get back to you, Jeanette.
And the thing about it is,
I hate putting pricing on these videos because, I mean, 2 days later, it's, you know, some other price somewhere, or somebody's got a sale and this and that. And
you can find sales. And
one of the other things, actually, let me chime in. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but one of the things I kind of remember seeing in some of these other more paint, like, recommendation type videos, is if you are starting out and you aren't really sure, one of the ways to get really great priced paints is to buy the little sets that they have.
Exactly.
Because overall, the value is there because they want you to try out everything. So I think that's a really great way to go. It's just we had so much stuff. It was like this is the problem is if you already have a bunch of stuff and you buy those sets, it's kind of like buying the toner. You always end up with a stack of blacks.
Yeah, seriously. And if it doesn't, okay, look here, this one says heavy body. I think that's probably a more recent purchase, and it's clean and doesn't have smushy marks all over it. So I'm assuming that's a more recent.
Back in the day, how much was that Liquitex over there? That was what?
Oh yeah.
$5.89. Yeah, I'd say that was a while ago.
That was and you can tell it's not a big box because it's written rather than printed. I would imagine this is something from Vans, because you can even tell the label is.
Oh man, the little set there is like 50. Is that euros? Yeah.
And it's.
That's probably about.
I don't know, Jeanette. Let me check that out and see if it would be cheaper for us to purchase and ship it, or yeah. We can see, because I guess we can still send. Okay, but anyway, back to my lovely palettes that I have here. You can tell I've used this one quite a lot. It has some staining on it. This is actually the one I use with Izzy a lot.
She needs a wider space.
Seriously. Okay, the best way to do this is just to squirt some out here. And I have my saran wrap back here. All right, so this is...
Oh, and Carrie says different colors are also...
different prices because of the pigment.
Right, i.e. cobalt, for example. Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of pigment.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the heavy body cadmium light. So right next to it, let's put a equally heavy body cadmium yellow medium. And I mean, you're not seeing a lot of difference there, but you are seeing some. And then what do we have here? This is just brilliant. Okay, this is medium also. But see, you can tell this. I'm going to put a little of that out there, because sometimes, we talked about this last time, even the, okay, see, they're a little bit different.
I am the age of the paint.
Well, that could be. I don't know if it gets better with age like wine, but anyway. Okay, so that's the cadmiums. This is the Naples, which is, my go-to.
Carrie is definitely helping us out with the conversions and such, because she says the principal set is about 34 pounds in the UK. So about the same in euros.
Okay, so that's Naples yellow there. Now we're going to squirt out some of this yellow oxide, which...
If I was really on top of things, I could have Google up and, price things out as we're moving on here. But I'm trying to keep things simple.
Yeah, and besides that, I've got my computer covered up over here, so you can't
Well, I have a computer.
Okay, here's... Yes, but your main job is to read the comments, so you don't need to be splitting your screen or messing around there.
Commenting on the comments.
And losing our sound. And
I'm really not sure how that happened.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm going to squeeze out some of the loosey-goosey stuff for Jeanette. Jeanette, are you still with us?
Oh, she's still here. I think you need to wipe it before you, store it.
Well, you think?
I'm just saying.
Jesus, there's always somebody, that's telling you something obvious.
Captain
And you don't want to do that over your plate, because you get little clumpy things on there, and it's not.
Oh, are you going to tell them about the smell of the plate? She made me smell the plate last night.
I know. I swear that they put something. Smells kind of cinnamony.
That'd be kind of cool if they put a little spice in it.
I think it would be too, because my other one smells like industrial. Okay, now do you see the difference between that?
All right, so move it towards kind of here.
See, it's running, and the other stuff is just staying there. Okay?
So what is that one called?
This one's called...
But what kind is it?
It's golden.
I know, loosey-goosey. What's...
Low viscosity.
Thank you.
They don't even say that on here, but I know that that's what it is. And there's a lot of really fine print on the back.
That's where they tell you about it.
Yeah, you can read that if you so.
Loosey-goosey.
Loosey-goosey.
Snotty stuff.
Okay, now, you saw all those different, and because
Carrie says yes, it does. Oh, she says hers is minty.
Oh, seriously? Well, this one's kind of clovey.
Yeah, we were saying, yeah, ours is kind of spicy. We got a spicy one, Carrie.
Which I really like it a lot.
That'd be great if they had, like, you know, mojito or, you know, well, here we're right in the season, the pumpkin spice.
Okay, now this is going to be one of those colors that you're going, wow, I wished I could remember what I put in there. Okay, we're just going to mix these all together here because we do not want to be wasting paint. Because you saw the price of it. It's like, okay, and y'all saw what happened.
Y'all saw.
Y'all saw what happened. So now we can just move on and we can mix this paint up.
Oh yes, clovey.
Clovey.
So maybe yours smells clovey too.
Okay. Now we're doing that because we're going to add our retardant so that we can use it longer.
So why did you just wanted to show everybody that there's all these different kinds of yellows.
And all these different kinds of blues and all these different kinds of
reds.
Right,
and so you put all your yellows out there.
And mix them all together. You don't have to do that. I wanted you to see the difference. I don't necessarily recommend that you do what I just did. Obviously. But look at that. It's nice mustardy yellow.
Well, it's kind of like, that's a little darker than it. On the screen, it actually looks kind of like the yellow that Carrie's a huge fan of. Naples?
Naples. I like the Naples.
Yes.
Because it is I would say semi opaque. Would you agree with that?
Becky has never used a gel plate, so see, she's new to all of this.
Oh, Becky, you know.
Hey, we are no experts. By the way, we are no experts.
Oh, Lord,
we'll
no.
be all learning together.
I've only had it for like, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 or 4 weeks now.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta step away for just a second. You continue on.
Okay. We have something going on with, there may be something, you know, Mariah does have a real job. My real job is just watching the child and make sure she doesn't, you know, swallow marbles or something. Okay, so we've got, and the thing about it is I know that this is going to stay relatively moist because I just mixed in the acrylic retardant. Now that doesn't mean it's going to stay moist forever, obviously, but it will stay moist longer. We can use it for more pulls on the jelly plate. Okay, I probably will end up using those. All right, I think that we are going to go ahead and start with our light color here, which is something that I told you to do. And you just want to take a little bit here, and you can just put it right on your plate. Here are my playing cards that I made last night. I'll talk about them as we go along. I used a very light coat on the back because I do want some of this nice little overall pattern to show through. Okay, scoot that over the brayer here. Make sure it's running and doesn't have any large clumps. Yes. All right. So we're just going to ink the plate. I'm loving this new little 5x7 plate. Doesn't take up as much room. Now, brayering off. You probably want to do that. Okay, we're going to start off with this. It's one of the homemade stencils, and this is the other reason that I kind of like that. Okay. And if I'm really careful, I can get 4 of these Hummers on here, more or less. We're not talking about any But this is when I was talking about the viscosity and using the retardant at the same time. You're going to get more actual
What you need?
time here to mess around and, you know, go to the bad. That was really bad. You see that booger? But, you know, at this point, we don't really care. I'm just trying to get some of that stuff off of there and see.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, baby, that's
Hey.
what I'm talking about.
I even like that it slid. I think that's cooler looking than the other one.
Okay, so now,
Hey, and how about these stencils?
how about these stencils?
Are homemade off the Cricut.
Okay, I don't know. I think we could even pull another couple off of that because I'm looking there and I'm still seeing.
Now, this stencil was made, I don't know if P was talking about this or not, but this one was made using the acetate, which is a bit thicker and a bit trickier to use on the gel plate.
Yeah, it is. And the reason I like the slimier, thinner stuff
Is it pushes up better?
is you don't have to, you know, you don't have to beat it to death to get it down in there.
You're rocking the boat.
Oh, sorry.
Shaking the camera.
Okay, now look, see? We're getting even another one, which I'm just pretty darned excited about this. Okay, I'm going to have to get rid of some of this stuff. But now, well, that one was kind of poopy. That one wasn't so good either. But now we pull up this. And I could go ahead and...
Oh, yeah, don't waste that.
Oh, I don't have anything to put it on.
I know, and the mic is kind of right here in her drop zone. Is that a little better?
Okay, Mariah, can you push that down for me?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, so...
Do you need that roller?
Hmm?
Can I roll on that?
Yeah, here,
Oh.
use that.
Okay.
I need the rest of mine. Okay, now see where... This is the other thing that's really nice about having the retardant on there. Because as we're sitting here, you know, and chit-chatting about this and that, our plate's drying out. And probably want to keep that because I can put those all back on there.
Okay, do you want this back? Or are you going to use it again? Or put it to the side?
You can put that to the side.
Okay.
So there we have that. And we have that.
Oh, Robin's here. Hello, Robin.
Hi, Robin. Oh, Robin, she's my gel printer person. Okay, now look at what we have here. I'm loving these that I pulled that just, you know, had the out of the negative.
And I love this one that slid.
Yeah, it did. Okay, well, now let's go ahead. And I'm not cleaning off that plate. I do not believe in plate cleaning. I know that there are people that do. I see them all the time on there.
Hey, Carrie's a good plate cleaner. I see.
Are you a plate?
Carrie's a plate cleaner.
Well, you know.
Most of the time I've seen her do that.
All right, here's the deal. If you are trying for a very
Specific color.
specific, beautiful, clean, nice color, then you want to clean your plate. We're not doing that.
Gigi's not into.
I'm not into.
That's just throughout her entire life. It's
You
really
see the
not about,
you see the edges of this thing. Well, that's kind of what my other plate looks like.
It's
I
more
don't know.
about maintaining.
Now I need to have this handy.
Okay.
Can you?
Yes.
I need that other TV tray, Mariah, which is right. If we could put that right there, then I could reach around and grab
Okay.
that. All right, now the reason I'm not getting all hot to trot here and worrying about this plate, you know, doing whatever is, I really don't care if it dries a little bit. I don't care if my yellow dries a little bit. there, and I don't think it's going to. I'm just, see, it's still nice and moist. Well, we might want to go ahead and...
What do you want me to do?
Saran wrap that.
Oh, this is the saran wrap moment.
This is the saran wrap moment.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got my roller off thing over here, which I save those all the time. Don't need that stick right there anymore.
You need one of those little pizza top things that would hold this up so it doesn't get down into the paint.
Oh my gosh, that's so brilliant, Mariah.
Here, what's in your weird little box of trinkety things? Where did that box go?
Trinkety box?
Yeah, the box of your treasures.
Oh, it's over there. That is such a brilliant idea. Yeah, okay. And then we can stack things on top. Now, what we're going to go for here is we're going to do the nickel azo gold. Okay, do you see that, Jeanette? Jeanette, are you still watching? Mariah hasn't reported to me lately. And you've noticed I don't ever worry about cleaning off my brayer either.
Carrie says she doesn't mind a bit of grunge too.
Good job. All right, so now we know we've got still got some of the yellow stuff underneath.
Do you want your mixer thing?
No, just leave that in there. So we're just going to grab, now here's the only problem, is it might be a little bit wet. Because remember, the aspect that we had of the cards were printed with that other ink. And I didn't put anything down here on the plate stencil wise for a reason.
Well, that was a good thought. I don't like any of that. I'm not happy about this situation over here. That's what I'm going to do. Look at that.
Ha!
How about that?
Awesome.
I think you should show the people.
Well, if you'll just show your jets here a minute, Susie.
And then that way we're not using single-use plastics.
Oh, listen to this environmentally.
Well,
Okay, now,
sometimes.
can you see what's happening there? Right, can you, are we good over
Yeah.
there? Okay.
What do you need?
I mean, is it showing up on, can you see the,
Yeah, you need to move those more towards the center. And here, let me get you another thing so you can bring it up to the deal.
that's not going to work because it'll slide off of there. Okay. While Mariah's fetching that, while she's doing that, we're going to go ahead and do some other things here.
Here.
Oh, yes, that's what we need. I only have about...
I know, and then I put mine away. Here, you're going to love this. Here's a moment for you. I'm lobbing it over to you. I put my boards away, and now I don't know where they are.
She knows how much I enjoy that. Because she's always, you know, and everything doesn't have to be right out where you can see it, TJ. You need to, you know, put some of that stuff away. All right, so here we are. Now we've got some decisions. That stuff's drying on there, but we're not horribly concerned about that. I'm just seeing. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at those spots that didn't pick up anything. I
Here,
don't.
and show my covering.
I don't really know why that is. Oh, look at this.
That's to save the paint.
We have about 900 of those.
They're fantastic.
They are. You cannot believe how much you use those for all kinds of things. Okay. Here we go, and here's some more, and see, transparent. So we're going to pick up more of the stuff underneath.
Carrie's loving it.
Are you loving?
Felicia's loving it.
Oh, good.
Let's see, Becky says I sewed a mug rug and forgot where I put to send.
What?
She does the same thing, you know. She puts things away and then you don't know where they are.
Okay, we're still picking up stuff here. I don't know. I'm going to... I hesitate doing this. Oh my God, aren't those two colors just like the absolute most wonderful thing that you've ever seen? Now I have to move along pretty rapidly here because this ushy squishy color that I just put on here,
It does.
it's not going to wait for me to, you know, contemplate my navel and dilly-dally. I'm just doing that so I don't get crap all over my hands. And that was what was handy. Okay. See what we got there. All right.
Ooh.
Loving that. And even if it didn't, you know, like happen in every little plate. Oh my gosh. See that edge there? That's, you know what that's from? That's from the stencil. It pulled off. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, got some options here, and I'm not going to probably get anything from that because it's already dry. That's one of the nice things about that. Pros and cons, both ways. Now, let's see if we can pick up some stuff here.
And put some on those other ones. I'm backseat driving. Side seat crafting.
Okay, you know that color palette we're going for here. I don't know. It may go in a different direction. I'm just hoping that wasn't too dry.
Robin says, awesome second layer.
I know, didn't that? Look at how that worked out. Oh, but hey, Robin, you just hang there. I have this negative stencil thing over here that you're just gonna wet yourself.
Oh goodness, simmer down.
Oh my goodness, look
I
at
like
that. Now
those.
see, this is getting to where
Yeah, I like
I'm
that.
getting ready to bust out some purple here.
Yay. Does that segue into our conversation about purple, or are we waiting until you're all done jelly printing?
No, I don't know what you're asking me.
Well, remember, on our list of things to talk about today is our segue into
yeah.
purple and purple papers. And are we gonna, you know, once you have your cards done too, we can plop some papers down and see how that stuff works. Or do you want to start throwing those in the mix at this point? Should I cut them down?
I don't know.
See, I gave her way too many questions. She's overwhelmed.
I'm totally overwhelmed. Okay, I got to get this out of the way here because I need to make some purple that I'm going to add the gloss gel medium, which I really like the matte medium, but I just remembered I used it all and I didn't get any more.
We can't find that one, I'm telling you.
And I'm putting this out here because I learned something. When you're mixing this stuff together, and I'm going to put a little retarder and a little of the...
Robin says that she loves lots of layers and dots and stencils. You are so in her lane.
All right. All right, so that was the gloss gel. That's going to make it a little bit more transparent because remember our violet, our purple was pretty opaque. So I'm hoping that by the time we get through with this. Now the retarder does not change the opacity of the paint.
It only affects its drying
time. But can you see what happened there? Well, if you put it directly on your plate, that's exactly what happens there. And you don't ever get
a full mix.
You just get streaks of this.
I said the other day that I think that's kind of cool. But if you're going for something more like
a solid,
then
nice,
you need to mix it like she's doing.
Yeah. And you know, there's a lot there, so I'm trying to bray her off as much because I love this.
It's very plummy.
Very plummy mulberry, blah blah. But I don't want it to be horribly.
Say the word.
Strong. I need a nice, yes, I need a nice transparent opacity here.
Are you going to go straight on? You're not going to put any?
I'm not going to right now.
Right.
I'm just trying to get, because I think that's going to hit those spots that are white. You know, this is not rocket science. It's just like if you screw it up, you just fix it. And this piece of paper's come in very handy.
It's the right size.
Y'all can see neutrals. Oh yeah. Well,
Hey, leave it. Sorry, the dog's up here.
She's alerting us that the zombies are coming.
Yeah, somebody's walking on the trail. How dare them?
Okay, now look at this. This is, okay, I told you earlier about the gessoing and why I gesso. Can you see why I gesso? Can you see those little lines? Aren't those absolutely just wonderful? And it did, and can you see where the white parts were? I didn't pick up very well. Yeah, you can't do that. I watched somebody do that the other day. I was going, well, that's brilliant. Who knew you could do that? Yeah, but you can. If you have some little white spots there and you see some more stuff on your plate and you're going, oh, well, let me see. Okay, let's just...
It's like picking lint with tape.
It sort of is. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, now these are going to be a little wet for a little bit longer. Why? Because we used our retarder.
I like that.
I do too. I like it a lot. Okay. Now, stuck to my finger. Imagine that. Okay. So I'm liking this. I'm going to pull this.
I'll tell you, I like the cards versus the papers because I was running all over the place with the papers, and the cards are more of a, you can just move them about in the area that you were in versus.
Isn't she cute?
Same.
I just love, Mariah is my, she's my opposite.
Mazzy, leave it.
Mazzy, we're going to hurt you.
You're not going to hurt the dog.
Okay, now remember, this does not have any retardant in it, so it's like something that I need to move along on rather rapidly, and so I'm going to use this, my homemade. Okay, this is the part. This is the part.
This is its maiden voyage.
It is, because can you see it didn't have any stuff on it?
Let's see how this is stringed together bits.
Okay, so I had Mariah cut some, what do you call this?
The rice paper. The very thin rice paper.
Yes, and this is the one that I was doing the other day, Robin, that I tore it when you were watching.
And she gave the
And you said, please pull from the back, and I'm going like, well, duh, that was a really brilliant thing. Okay, so here we go.
And she does have her plate taped down today.
I do.
Hey, good on the outsides. Not your middle, cause
yeah. Well, that's where it's all hung together there.
And your strings. Yeah, you needed that for structure.
I needed that for structure. I wouldn't be able to pull it off of there. Yeah, and I'm not picking all those little pieces off of there because there's just not enough time in the day for that kind of stuff. So I don't love that yet, but you know, another layer here, a little bit. It might be absolutely flippin' wonderful.
Some FW.
And that corner was really, really dry. Okay.
Oh, there.
Oh, look at that. Now, the reason I'm doing these, and the reason that you should go ahead and do these, is because these can also be decoupage. Ah, look at that string. Isn't that wonderful? Can you see it? Can you see it?
That's a good.
Is that a good
spot,
one?
I think.
And you notice I'm not twisting and turning.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm gonna put.
Here, I'll take that if you want.
Yeah, not this one. I want have access to because I'm
Okay.
going to use it again. That one I think I'm probably pretty much done with.
Putting it over here with the other cards. That are dry.
Okay, well we still have a little stuff on the plate. We're not worried about that. We're going to put some more of our, and let's add a little. Because I like this plummy stuff, but I also like it towards this end of the violet range, and we can do that because we just happen to have some other blues back here. And this is cerulean.
stole my boards. Just saying.
I may have. All right, now I think we've got some nice stuff going on there as far as...
I like the brayer off. It's not in the... It's not in the camera view, but it's looking good. Your brayer off.
Okay, now I'm going to take some of these that were not quite so wonderful. Before.
Mm.
Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about.
Getting some I love that's and yum. Cerulean is one of Carrie's favorites. It goes well with purple.
Yes, it do.
It does. Now this is looking more like our mountain sunrise versus... I think I'm going to call this new set Pleasantly Purple.
Possibly purple.
Possibly purple.
All right, now we're ready to...
Well, I really wanted like a full-on alliteration, but I couldn't, like, I don't know. I couldn't come up with it.
Okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this.
Oh, I think that's going to go well. Alicia says that was the best blue crayon ever when she was a kid.
Oh.
It is a good blue.
Well, you know, it's a blue that you can use. Oh, and here I go tearing from the wrong end.
She can be taught things.
Trainable.
Look at that.
Okay, now look at that. I mean, you can align some of that stuff up if you tried.
Which you would never do, because that would drive you crazy.
Yeah, people talk to me about registering, and I'm like,
no, I'm out.
I registered to vote. Does that count? But look at that. I mean, I think that's wonderful. I'm not sure that it's done yet. I don't really know those things, but now look, we've got a clean light.
All right, so Becky's asking, do
Okay.
you ever take the stencil when you're done and press it on the paper or fabric to see what it does? Yes.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
But like you said, a lot of what you had before or on the plate was drying, so there wasn't going to get...
Yeah, you weren't. I mean, I could have, but especially when you use these low viscosity paint. I mean, that stuff dries almost on contact.
It's quick.
You need to move if you're going to. Okay, now another little. I've got this lovely paint out here, and I'm not going to waste this lovely paint.
Oh, she said you just did it. On the... Well, yes, with the one that you pulled up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I also flipped the stencil and put it down on something else, and I do that, and I do that a lot with the flower things because. And I just kind of, the problem is I need it. I've got a whole mess of papers that we have.
Here, you can show them that. Because
Yeah.
see, that's not in the camera.
Oh, this is not in the camera.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you can see the stack of paper I've got over here.
No, but you can show them.
Okay, I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to put this one on the bottom. But last night what I went through is I just pulled a bunch of papers that we had used.
Oh, those are some of mine. See how neat.
But they're just all kinds of catch papers, papers that have some stuff on them, whatever. And oh, and here is Izzy stenciling. Now, I asked her permission if I could use that, and she looked at me like she did a long time ago. She didn't even remember. Okay, so now we've got some options here. We can make this lighter. We can make it darker. We can add some gold to it, which that might be kind of nice. Yeah, let's do that. Add some gold. This Arteza, I love this color. I don't necessarily, it's kind of a medium viscosity. It's not really thick and it's not really thin. It acts like it's thick until you start, I always do that to get the little wispy snot thing. to go down. We'll see what happens here. I have no idea. I've never used this color combination before that I know of. It's probably going to go a little bit green on me. I'm hoping it does go a little bit green on me. Okay. Oh my God, that's wonderful. Have lots of different stuff going on there. That's the kind of stuff that I love. Love, 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 love. 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 Okay. Now the thing you have to remember about this stencil is that some of those little holes there.
This was our very first trial run at cutting a proper stencil.
Yeah. Okay. I love that. But you really have to push to get stuff down in there.
Well, and we made this stencil more for sprays and things of that nature.
Yes, because that's what we were into at the time. So you can really remember to push on that.
And it's also built up some.
Yeah, some of the smaller holes have become slightly clogged. Okay, well, you can see. You're really better off trying to just go in and pick up some of the
bigger holes.
Where you can still see paint.
Yeah, you're not going to get your little holes. You might be able to with the rice paper if you can really cram it in there.
I like that because it just adds enough variety that you can. Okay, now that I'm going to do what you said over there. I don't know if I'm going to get very much because it's already drying. This stencil is so porous. It's just, I've used it so much, it just sucks stuff up. All right, now we've got some good stuff on the plate there.
Okay, so while you are talking about some of these things, because I'm going to try to hit some of these other last bit of notes, because we are running at like an hour and 20 minutes at this point.
Oh, heavens.
Now, of course, we were 10 minutes in and figured our sound was not working, but, you know, such is life. The gesso and why you prepped the cards and
I think
some
I talked
of the.
about that.
I know, but let's kind of review it because I don't remember it. And the texture it actually creates just by prepping your surface. I don't think you talked about that.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Can somebody tell her that I did, please? I think that's when you were downstairs talking to Brad.
See, time flies when you're having fun, Felicia. I know the ones that I'm going, oh gosh, it's only been like 45 minutes and it seems terrible, but I think we are having more fun. We're doing more stuff, and yes, the time now is moving a little faster, which is great.
And you know, the whole thing is we can continue on with this.
We can run for 4 hours if you really want. I just don't know that.
Yeah, it's going to be that
people are gonna
riveting.
Stick around and whatever.
I can just, you know.
Becky wants a retreat weekend.
I sometimes I would really like that too. It'd be so much fun to just have a bunch of. Okay, now look at that.
Yes.
Is that just not? Absolutely. See, it's starting to get there. Starting to get to that brown stage that I love. And this is where, when we talked about the streaks, this was totally an accident. And when I did it at night, which I should never do anything at night because I can't see.
But it's sometimes the only quiet
It's
time.
this crappy brush that I have.
We'll show them the brush.
I mean, this booger is old. You can see the buildup of goo on it. But I think that the bristles are kind of screwed up on the end. So they're not as smooth. Like this is smooth. It's smooth. It's going to give you a smooth, but I thought that's what I was grabbing when I grabbed it. But I'm absolutely in love with that. And we haven't even started on the other side, guys. Oh my gosh. This is just so much fun. All right, let's just do another quick. Get a little more of our gooey. I should move these out of here because I'll be screwing those up. Okay, Mariah, you need to get the notes out of the way. They're messing up my platform here.
I'm sorry. Well, and I'd like to bring in the papers a little bit just to kind of give people a little teaser of why we're trying to work with the purple. I mean, we talked about this a bit in the last session, but we do have some new people and want to touch on some of that. But I don't know what you did with the papers.
They're underneath the board. That board.
Okay.
Be careful, don't. My slippy cards are there.
It's
I should be losing my slippy cards. This 5x7 gel plate is just, I mean, it just rocks my world because I can get 4 cards on there, and I have to be kind of careful.
Well, and then in this smaller space, it's a lot.
Oh, yes. See, we're getting rid of that really bright, pukey yellow. For the most part. But we still have a few little sunshine spots out of there to make Mariah happy.
Keeping me happy.
Keeping her happy. It just cracks me up because, oh my God, look at that. Now, does that just, I mean, come on.
All right, now I was going to say, keep it PG there.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, this is becoming very interesting. I'm going to pull this off with some green, if I can get it open. You know what I should do? I should just use gold.
I'm a fan.
Let's use some of this high dollar iridescent gold.
Are the new papers that I printed over here? Yes, they are. Here we go. Bottom of the pile.
All
Jeez.
there. It's just because they were the biggest pieces, and I
know. It makes sense. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, she really is. She thinks that was a comment on. Damn it.
Darn it.
Did you see that? It just pulled up that edge there because I was
aggressive.
I was hurrying here so we can get to those.
There, you want to put
paper.
that? Hey.
No, I don't want to. I want to make some rice paper, transparent papers that I can use on the back of my cards. Or the front of my cards.
Nasty.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
It'll be really cool when you can bring some of that other stenciling on top of it.
And see, but it did pick up some of that. Okay, I still have some stuff out here. You want me to stencil on top of that?
I don't know, maybe this one. Over in the brown area. I don't know. It's your call.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you need some of that there. Oh. Getting sticky.
It is, but look at this.
That's going to be cool. Mazzy.
And we've got some funky little hoop-de-doo things there.
Alright, so when you pull that off, you do a nice slow thing so they can see.
Well, one of the things that Mariah's been working on her boho journal for,
Hey, it's done.
2 months.
But just stay tuned because
But that
I
is
haven't
not
done all the video.
That is not that she's just worked on that. We've had other things that occurred, and life goes on and whatnot. And look at that. Is that not absolutely stunning? And we still have another pull that we could get there. I'm going to let you have look at these colors going on here. Isn't that wonderful?
Here, do you want the other one?
Sure.
Man, that looks really cool on that one spot.
I'm hoping because we've got enough retardant in that purple that I had on here that we're going to get, this may be a little bit dry. Oh, I mean, you know,
hey, you cleaned your plate.
Cleaned my plate. Clean plate. So then I can put the thing back on this.
So those were some sneak peeks, Tom. That was a little sneak peek at what's going on with Pleasantly Purple.
But look at that. I just absolutely, I know it's very subtle, but look at how it looks with these. And even if I just go through and attach that, by the time I get something on there, you're going to be able to see tiny bits of that background that are still going to come through there. I think that's going to be lovely. Anyway, that's my thought.
Everybody's loving it.
Okay.
Oh, Felicia says it would make a really cool wall background.
Yeah.
Jeanette's having internet issues. Sorry, Jeanette. I know that sucks.
You need to put some more purple on these really bright, shiny things here. All right, well, are we, what are we doing here? I don't,
well,
I've got to get these out of here.
Yeah, we've got 30 more minutes if you want. I don't know where you want to move on to or just continue on with these.
Well, where are the rest of my cards?
Over here.
What did we do with them?
They are drying, because remember they...
I need to look at them to see what they need. These need something. These are horrible. Those are...
They were fantastic 5 minutes ago. They are horrible now.
Well, you know, things change.
I'm loving that. Here, put that under there and show them what, since you... Well, that, but also this. Yeah, you got to go further in. There you go. A little bit. Here, look.
Oh.
Bring it down. Bring it down. Funky Town. There you go. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a little dark. We're still working on our lighting and settings.
So you either have dark or you're looking at something that, you know,
Like
makes
you're
you want to
looking
put
into
your
the sun.
sunglasses on to watch it. Okay, I'm just going to put these over here because I'm just thinking, and I'm thinking about my stencils.
Yeah, I think you need to bust out more stencil stuff. It's more fun.
Okay, yeah, some different stuff. I'm liking my square stuff going on here.
Where's your scrolly, the edge that you like so much, that you were talking about at the beginning? The asemic writing like one.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Mariah. Oh, that's what I have her over here for. All right, let's bust these babies out because you can get some awesome stuff going on with these. Okay, so what these were...
I don't even remember. Oh, they're all of the little leaves. Leaves. And
yeah, but some of them are... This was the writing.
I don't think that's true.
It is true. Because you can still see the ups and downs. Upsy downs.
Oh, it was that stuff that you had me do that I told you wasn't going to work very well. But I guess at least it's coming back around.
Oh, it was. Well, it was a card that I was doing that said...
No, the rebel in
yes. Yes, it was the one about seasons. Revel... I don't know. Anyway. So, we're going to use these. And the reason that they're really, really cool is if you use the right brayering technique with the right thing here, what you get is you get your paint lodges up against, and if you don't like one side, you just turn it over and you got a whole new thing going on there. You just want to make sure that you're not matching up the original words, because then they kind of have a tendency to go, oh, look at that. That says hola.
Robin says, so much tonality out of your 3 colors. And Carrie says, a great session. I want to get my plate out for a bit of play now.
Oh.
She hand cuts some. I'm telling you, I applaud you for hand cutting stencils.
Oh.
I just,
I can't do it because I have a arthritic thumb here that starts complaining about. Okay, now the thing is because I have these on a horizontal alignment here. I'm going to just do this rather than try to get, because what it does is it leaves a lot of area masked out. So that's my thought on this. You know, I don't know that for sure. But I'm going to go ahead and put something down underneath this now that I figured out which ones I want where. Simply because I think it'd be a waste not to.
and it holds down. Hey, you've got your little, by the way, you've got your thing on top of your deal there.
Oh. Thank you, Mariah. Oh my God.
Clear objects are not your friend.
Oh, they are not my friend.
You need to draw an X on that. And I'm not being a smart ass about it.
Yeah, I know. I really, yeah, she actually is.
I sort of am, but it is true.
Okay. Let's get us a little bit more retardant going out here because it does take a bit of time to do that. And I am going to bring in brown.
Oh,
straight. I know, Mariah. I promised Mariah I wasn't going to do that.
So Carrie cuts the she cuts the geometric ones, so it's pretty easy, and then she burns the organic ones.
Well, you know, this stuff about burning, I need to know more about. I've watched them do it with the Yupo paper.
Yeah, what do you use, Carrie?
Not familiar with this process.
I see her use a lot of, it looks like dividers, like the you know, for like binder divider things, those plastic tabbed things. I mean, at least that's what it looks like because it has the holes for the. I'm waiting for her to remember. There's a minute delay, so.
Okay. Well, I'm just mixing my paint
Making brown.
Making brown.
Is that pretty brown?
Yeah, but it's not really what I want. I'm gonna put some Prussian blue on there.
Why isn't what you want? Explain that.
Well, because it's just a little bit on the warm side of things, and I love it for its transparency, but I'm not, and I just put whatever I do.
That's a big job.
It is. And I'll have to use that all up.
We might be going longer than 30 minutes. Oh yeah. So she uses a pyrography tool. Is that right? Pyrography. Plastic dividers or overhead projector sheets. And she says, yes, the fumes are a bit of a worry.
Yeah.
I mean, we even deal with that with using the alcohol inks. It gets a little fumy in here, and it's best when we can actually open the window. And we have a pretty open room too, so that's a plus.
Okay, now this is.
I like that.
It's kind of a greeny color. The reason I'm going to like that is because I've got a lot of red in my purple.
All right.
And this is a little thinner paper.
Ooh.
So, you know, it's not going to it's going to give you a little more definition to your.
Because of the card size and the thickness of the card.
Yeah, of this stuff as opposed to that plasticky. Okay, I'm really.
Oh, you're talking about the stencil itself.
The stencil itself, yes.
Yes, because it's just like I think a 65-pound, real standard cardstock. I don't even know why they call it cardstock.
Actually, this is early on. This may be the Bristol board.
Oh, yeah, which is, I like it because it's a bit thicker. It certainly was my preference in card making.
Said I was going to do those horizontal. I lied.
She does that sometimes.
Okay, well, we've got some.
I actually like that better.
I'm kind of thinking the same way. Oh, well. All right, so now.
This is where things got really cool the other day.
This is where things get really cool. All right, I'm going to find.
What you need?
I need that other brown and golden. It's on the very end. Yeah. Okay. This is Van Dyke.
He's very dark, Van Dyke.
It is. Okay, can you see the opacity level there? You can just barely see through it, so it's pretty opaque. But we've got lots of good stuff going on here, opacity-wise.
It's not thick Van Dyke, it's dark Van Dyke.
But I want to make sure that I really integrated it well. But what it's doing is it's integrating with the blue, and we already put down some retardant here. So we've got a nice thing going on here. Before I pull it up, and I'm really pressing hard on my brayer, I want it to go into those little creases. Now, I could pull some more there, but I'm not going to because I brayered on the top of the thing, so it wouldn't do what I want it to do.
Still a little sticky.
Well, maybe a little bit. I'm going to try something here.
Back, front, and side to side.
Who knows?
Oh, we do have the clothesline, so I can hang it up.
It's like mold. Hey, but it's still going to give it something.
Ooh. That's definitely grungy.
Oh, yeah. This is getting to the point where I'm really going to start liking it, and I'm going to think, okay, now it's time to bust out the gold. See, there we are. Oh, yeah. That's my brown that I know and love. Yeah, I got some stuff going on there. Don't know that that's exactly what I'm loving on that pukey looking green, but we'll be able to get rid of the pukey looking green. Okay, I'm going to put those over here out of the way because of
It is a little pukey.
the retardant that I have in there. They're going to stay wet for a bit. So we probably are about done with those boogers for a while. Which my plate is sitting here and drying while I'm
moving things about the cabinet.
moving about the cabinet. That's, oh, I don't think I want to do that. I love that one. I know what I want to do. I want to use this paper.
Oh, you got some yellow sitting over here in case you want to bring that back into the mix.
Oh.
Remember.
But
then you're going to go super green, I think, if you've already got green over there.
I think so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this.
More of that color theory.
This is red oxide stuff here, which I'm hoping is going to fight some of that. Boy, I need to order some more of that. I don't have very much of that left. Oopsie, oopsie.
I want to know, oh yeah, they're all right here in front of my face. Here,
that's just not doing very much.
Now it's drying up on you.
Yeah. Well, the problem with that stuff is, now
What is that stuff and what's the problem?
The oxide business. Oh, look at that! How
Oh,
pretty that
yeah.
paper is. I'm not using this on my experimental paper because I'm really gonna love this, and I you know, I don't want to take a chance. So I'm gonna pull it with.
And remember, pull towards you.
Yes, thank you, Mariah.
Oh, hello, Lisa. Thank you. Lisa's new in the chat. She says she loves the grunge.
All right.
You're in the right place, Lisa.
You're in the right place, and it's just gonna get better.
If you want happy, fluffy stuff, then come see my stuff.
Okay, I just lost my print there because I was giggling.
That's really good.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those stencil things, man, those have been the surprise horse. What do they call that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You
The
know,
one nobody bets on, the one that's a really good one.
Yeah.
Okay, we still have some stuff on the plate here. I have more stuff on the plate. This darker color here, but I'm going to see. Kind of a moldy green. Oop, that's starting to pull. Don't want that.
Well, and I like that. I think the stuff that you said you need more of, the golden rusty business there is, I like it a lot.
Here we go with experimental paper.
And don't ask her where she got it because she's had it for 20 years. Right? Is that some of the...
Well, that might be. How's Joshua? I got this when I went to the mall with Nathan after Christmas one year, and Joshua was just a baby.
Oh, well, yeah.
He was in a stroller.
Well, he is a, what, 12 years old? 12 or 13?
Yeah, he's a teenager. Well, I'm not really actually loving that, but it could.
I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
And I think it could be because of the crappy colors that we've
Yes.
got going on here. So what are we gonna do?
Well, it's very dark.
It is. Okay, where's my yellow?
Now, what you could do,
What?
yeah, is you need to bring in something that's a little more opaque and drop some stuff on top of it. You're not going to have that cool layering, but could save the day. I don't know. These are thoughts. Only suggestions, ideas. It's not a plan.
All things to consider.
Becky says you can have happy color grunge too. Yes, that's my place.
That would be Mariah's place. Okay, I predict that this is going to be
And it's very limey,
some wonderful stuff.
kind of army grainy.
Okay, where are my?
What do you want?
I want my cards. I want to do the
I will
other
bring
side.
them back.
Bring the cards back. Bring the cards back.
Here are your cards back.
Okay. Now here is another one of our stencils.
Hey, you can even recognize a little bit of leftover. You're kind of bumping, getting Betty Bumper on there. Those are the flowers from a card I made a very long time ago. And I can't believe P just did keep all of the leftover bits from the cricket.
Okay, this is still a little bit sticky on this other side. As you can see as I peel it off of my hand. But it's okay. It's okay, we're going to get some good stuff going on here.
You're going to leave a little fingerprinting. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, that's some good stuff. Subtle.
Yeah, there may be some fingerprints on there. That's okay. Everybody will know they belong to me. Oh, look at that. I'm loving that.
The bloppy spot. I really love a good blop.
Okay. Oh, where do I still have some?
I was about to use some language, just gonna, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Forget those flowers. Give me a good blop.
Well, you know, if you move them around enough, they just become an abstract sort of design.
Yeah, it's dinosaur stomp. I'm telling you. I love dinosaur stomp.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to do something that probably is just going to make y'all crazy out there.
I will tell you something about P. She has rules until she needs to break them, and then, you know.
As long as you have a good reason.
As long as you have a good reason.
You can break some rules.
Oh, Felicia, it was good seeing you. Bye.
Maybe time for some more retardant.
You're looking a little...
Well, because I'm picking up stuff rather than putting down. When you're picking up instead of putting down, and it's time to move on.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's really nice.
What do you want? Are you going to put it on
I'm
a
going to
new...
rice paper it. Because I think it's really lovely, and I think it would be a nice piece to collage with. Now, hopefully I'll be able to get a little bit of a ghost print going on here.
Ooh. I mean, it's not really in our color, like what we were going for today as far as our theme. But I love it.
I do too.
It's very pretty.
See that? It's just so hard to avoid that. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe we could come up with a little a finger sponge or something that you could wear so you can kind of keep going. A goober grabber.
Well, I'm really not loving that big old giant yellow
Oh,
streak out there in the middle.
I don't mind it.
Of course you don't. Okay, what do we have over here that we haven't? Well, here's just plain tissue paper. Let's see what happens with that.
No, pull the other way.
I've got this.
Okay.
It's really wet.
So why don't you talk about like what we do with all of this?
What do we do with all this? Well, a lot of it ends up becoming background for other paper designs. A lot of it is...
And when we talk about paper designs, we're talking our digital papers.
Yeah.
So like what we showed a little bit earlier, which were these before we printed on top of them. And then here's one other if you want to bring that in.
Because this is going to just be things that we're going to go ahead and use and tear up and make pockets, make backgrounds, tags, just other things. And actually I did want to, and I'm going to stop printing right now because I want to do just a little bit of stenciling. I've got some nice dark ink over here, and I think that this would be
We'll
enough.
probably run a bit long. Obviously, I mean, here we have set just about 7 minutes left on our 2 hours, but, I mean, it's not like anybody's telling us that we have to, but, and we understand if you guys have somewhere else to be, that's totally
you gotta
cool.
go. I just want y'all to, I think this is the pièce de résistance of today. I mean, I couldn't duplicate that. I could get close. I could get close. But I'm going to just go ahead and cover up my plate here. It's so I can put my cards down and actually do it. I like this surface. It's a little bit spongy. Mariah's always telling me I'm shaking the
She's a little bit of a Betty Bumper. We've talked about that even back in the day when we did our sit down and at the kitchen table and chat videos.
Okay, this is kind of my go-to stencil here. I gotta hang these babies up.
Carrie says she would use them in all sorts of projects, and she loves that. I think she's talking about the today's big winner.
Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. Okay, so this is a stencil I used really a lot.
Really a lot?
Really a lot.
That's a lot.
A lot. And I'm really, sometimes the card that you really hate the most ends up being the most interesting.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Carrie. We totally understand. Tell Carrie bye.
Bye, Carrie. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your nice remarks. Appreciate that. I don't know, Mariah. I can't put this down because it's still too sticky on the other side. This one's less sticky.
Yeah.
I don't think I've done anything to... Well, I've got some nice flowers back here. I'm going to use a stencil that has a lot of area that does, because I want to cover this up, and I'm going to use some of my wonderful yellow paint back here. I don't like that. Doesn't have enough spiky things. The one I really love here, see this one right here that had, what it was is the T.
The T?
The T.
Oh.
On some word.
I was like,
it's the cross on the T. But, I mean, this is sort of cool. And if I do this just right, I can get 2 T's on there.
2 T's are better than 1.
2 T's. Okay. All right, so I'm going to set that right there. And sometimes I actually tape those down so that they're not going places on me. And I've got my, I need to kind of mix that up a little bit.
What's happening? What are you doing? Are you sure you want to
I'm not sure.
Introduce that?
I want to introduce that. I need to get that off of there. Okay, basically, I don't know. Can they see this?
Yeah.
Good. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get a purple going here. And I don't have enough out here, so I'm going to have to find my purple underneath all the hoop-de-doo. And I'm going to use my other one.
You don't want to add some red?
Mm-mm.
You're just going to go straight purple.
I'm going to go straight purple because I want it to be purpley blue.
Okay.
And this is the purpley blue anyway. This is the dioxidine purple.
We need to look that up. I'm going to look that up. I would have to say that it probably has to do with the type of pigment.
I think you're probably right.
You know, that's my not at all educated guess.
Okay, now, I know that this is going to be too opaque, and I want it to be more, I want to see some of the stuff underneath is basically what I'm saying. So I'm whipping some gloss gel down here.
Mainly because we don't have the matte.
Yeah, I really like the matte much better than the gloss, but you know, it's really not, I don't know. It's not a deal breaker for me. And I'm mixing this up over here on my plate, and I'm still getting some of the stuff underneath it, which, you know, I really like that. I'm
some chunks.
Chunks and bits. And
texture.
Bits and whatnot. Trying to get all this off of my, oh, well, I'll just do this. And I always have grody.
Oh, goodness. Things are getting messy.
Things are really getting messy. I'm trying to clean up my very expensive little
Mixer.
Mixer. Okay, boop, boop, boop,
Well, it
boop.
depends on how much you still owe on that credit card.
That's one from Alaska. I think I pretty much.
You're good.
Now here's the other thing that I don't know that I want to do this, but oh well. I'll clean it up later. I'm still hoping some of that shows through, that I haven't, you know, darked it out to the point of it being. And you can buy, you know, those really expensive little.
Well, we have some of those dauber things.
Yeah, we do.
But Izzy really likes them and thinks that they belong to her. So every time I reclaim them, she then inquires why I have them.
Mommy, why are you using mine? Okay, now I don't. Can you see that?
I like
Am
it.
I holding it in the
Yeah.
right place?
Yeah, and you can see that.
You can still see some of the things that were underneath. So I did a good job of.
Good job.
I did a good job. I was a good jobber. That's what Izzy says. A good job.
jobber.
Good jobber. Okay. Now this is sometimes kind of a. I mean, it's not that I'm a neat freak or anything, but I want my color to be intentional rather than accidental most of the time. Sometimes I don't really care, but in this particular case I do. I'm really loving this, so I'm going to mask out some of that is really, really, what did I do with my hair there? Okay. I've got one that has a square edge somewhere. Okay, see that? That is just lovely. And I'm going to do this here so I can mask out some more of that. And I'm going to come in with this very wispy, cool looking stuff here. I want more of that. Okay. Now the big trick is to try and keep everything where it needs to be while you're dabbing.
Oh, Becky likes the negative space.
Okay. Thank you, Becky. I think I can take that one away. And I can hold this one more in place. But can you see why I wanted it to be like sort of transparent? The purple. And you just do that with that gloss medium. And I'm telling you, the matte stuff is the way to go.
With the medium?
Yeah. If you can, find it. Now, I'm sure that they have it in some
other brand. We just didn't have it, and we don't know exactly how it
performs as
because they all do a little bit different. They do.
No, they do. And I'm sure that, you know, you can probably find golden, but you will
pricier.
You will pay for it. And I don't know that price is necessarily commensurate with value, or
especially in this instance for
performance. I don't know that. All right, I'm going to take this down just a little bit more with the gloss gel. Just have it a little bit more transparent because I'm really, oh, whoa, baby.
A little bit?
Oh, you know, squeeze that a little bit. Okay.
And as always, the sound effects are free.
Oops. Well, that may be a little bit light, but oh well.
We are trying to kind of pinpoint a purple. Would you like a white?
I have one, but I just gooed my hand in the yellow on the other end. So I'll just use this. Okay, I think that's going to be mo better. And I would go ahead and use the same sponge, but it's got a lot of dark color on it, so And we just happened to, I mean, I actually washed this booger out to use it again. I don't usually do that.
I'm proud of you.
Okay, so we get these set down here where we want them. We want to mask out a lot more than we did on the other to catch that little flower, but at the same time, okay, I think that's going to be good. But can you see how much lighter our purple is? Do we still have Jeanette? Did Jeanette go away?
I don't know. I haven't heard from her in a bit.
Jeanette?
If you're still here. What were you going to tell her?
Well, I was just going to tell her because she's the one that said she can never find a purple that she really likes. And what we've done here is we started out, and if you remember, we started out with a very mulberry purple, which has a lot of red in it. So then we wanted to get rid of that, so all we did was we added some blue. I think I'm going to just go ahead and stay with my backs here. Okay, again, I'm liking the little flowers. Try to cover those up and cover up some of this.
She's working on Christmas projects and listening.
Oh.
She is still here.
Okay, Jeanette, I'm doing purple for you.
We are working on the purple papers. And that's one of the reasons we wanted some of this stuff, because some of it will end up as either backgrounds, and I'm thinking even with the cards, so if anybody is interested, just comment in the section, in the comments, about some of the cards, like if we should include those as tags or, you know, whatever. Could be belly bands. I could string them together. Do some fun stuff like that. I think that I'm going to try a bit more using, and some of like the corner pockets, I might even do that decorative edge with some of them, so you could cut it out like that.
Damn it.
Darn it.
Dadgummit.
Dadgummit.
Fingers are sticking to my very, you know, pricey stencil here. And then my fingers took off some of the, and I'm always hoping when I pull the stencil off that it's not going to be leaving large chunks of paint from its other life.
Yeah.
That does sometimes happen, I will warn you. Okay, now look at that. That's just, I mean, that positive, negative stuff that you get going back and forth there, I just think that that's
Would you,
very...
is it a good point to kind of call it, and then you can...
Yeah, it really is, because
you can continue
I
on.
can't, those are too wet.
Things are too sticky.
So the downside, and I'm probably going to go ahead and bust out my plate here and go ahead and do some more because my baby's not here yet. So I don't have to. When you get the brayer out, let me tell you what.
She's very interested.
Yeah, she likes, she does some
and she loves this,
aggressive brayering.
Yes, and she loves this setup now too, because she can see her hands and everything.
Yes.
Anyways.
We appreciate you being here with us today.
If you haven't liked the video, please do, even though this is a live session. This really helps us out, and, you know, leave comments below. Come back and watch it again. You can fast forward through things and whatnot.
Yeah, and if there's something that you didn't like, it's really helpful for us in future videos if you will actually say what you didn't like rather than just give us a thumbs down. I don't really care about the thumbs down. It doesn't bother me. I just figure
it hurts my feelings.
It hurts Mariah's feelings, so please don't hurt her feelings. Tell us what it is that you absolutely hated or everything, and we, you know, may work on that in the future. But something that we can work on. I mean, you know.
Definitely. But we will be back on Friday, so stay tuned.
And we don't actually know what we're going to do on Friday.
Oh, we probably do know a little bit about what.
know what.
Well, you're going to continue on some of these. We need to come back and probably, we didn't get to do any of the pen work and things of that nature because obviously they're still dry, and Mom messed up one of her new Stabilo pens already.
Well, I didn't mess it up. I cleaned it off.
Oh, you did get it to work again.
I got it to work again by cleaning that tip off right away. But if you let that wet acrylic paint dry on there, you just, they know.
So we'll leave you with that information as a little tips and tricks. Thanks, Becky, Jeanette, all you guys, Robin in the chat. We love you guys, and we'll see you on Friday.
Okay. Bye.